Introducing Fidelity Trader Plus. With customizable tools and charts you can access across all your devices. Try our most powerful trading platform yet at fidelity.com/trader plus. Investing involves risk, including risk of loss. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE, SIPC.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of The Reality Is. As always, it's Noor. And a while ago, I said on my Instagram that I'm getting really tired of talking about TV by myself. So I'm going to try to have really fun guests every week. Last week, I had Amanda. This week, I have a first timer. I've never had this person on before, but I did have the pleasure of being on their podcast. It's Jackie Santillan, and she is, you might know her as Kind Minds, Smart Hearts.
They're always a mouthful. Everything that I do is a mouthful.
Kind Minds, Smart Hearts, Clear Eyes, Can't Lose. You know what I mean?
That's it.
Also the co-host of What We Say podcast, which is, We Say What? I'm fasting, so
It's
my
okay.
brain is not up to par. What We Say What podcast, which is one of the most fun concepts ever. Jackie, I'm so glad we were able to make this happen. Thank you for being here.
I am so glad. I'm so flattered and so excited to talk to you about TV. When we had you on the show, we talked about the best condiments, and you'll be happy to know that my co-host Priscilla Kavanaugh and I, we were about to have somebody else on the show, and she said, "Let's do best sandwiches." And I said, "I'm sorry, no, that was a topic that we have reserved for when Noor comes back to our podcast." So no.
Yeah. One thing about me is, like, if you have me on your podcast, we will talk about whatever the topic is that day, but then I will make sure to promote myself to be like, and you should bring me back to talk about this, that. Like, I was just on Nostalgia Now to talk about, with Kelly Williams, to talk about the hottest hotties of the 90s and 2000s based on the Teen Choice Awards. And I was like, well, when you talk about the internet, you need to bring me back because I need to talk to you about AOL.
Yes. Oh my gosh, AOL. The discs. So many discs.
So many discs. Using your parents' like dial up in the middle of the night when you weren't blocking the phone. Ugh.
Can I tell you, you guys, your listeners are just getting to know me, and they probably know me as a parenting person, so this is going to shock their systems. But one of the first times I ever did acid as a teenager, my mom asked me to explain AOL to her on our family computer. So I was on drugs trying to explain computers to my mother.
Wait, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't do drugs anymore. But, you know.
Well, based on the intro that I just gave, one might think that I'm on acid, but I'm not. I just haven't eaten since yesterday because I'm fasting for Ramadan. Anyway, guys, today we're going to talk about Love is Blind. We are finally done with this what I've been calling Love is Bland, the Ohio season. We're going to talk about the final part of the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion, where, of course, we had the Grand Dame, Karen Huger, come back. And then we're going to talk about this week's Summer House, which just, you know what? The boys are pissing me off. So before we get into the shows, Jackie, this is a question I like to ask any first-time guest, because the reason for this podcast was that we like to talk about our problematic favorites. Who is your problematic favorite on reality TV?
I have many, but I'm just going to say I'm an LVP apologist. She can do no wrong for me. She is like the Mary Poppins of my adulthood. You know what I mean?
I love that.
So LVP. And then to be relevant, I have this annoying soft spot for West, and I want to kick it. I hate it so much. I just think he's charming. He's like Robin Williams and Mrs. Doubtfire at that party scene dancing on the table. And I want to be mad, and I am mad. Okay. I'm mad at him at this episode. We'll talk about it later, but doggone it. He's adorable.
Jackie, that is so bold. That's so bold. You picked a man, a white man, a straight white man.
My least favorite kind of people, honestly. I mean,
oh God, you're so brave. Thank you for your bravery.
Thanks.
I love the LVP pick also because I think that especially in the last few years, we've seen like reality TV change, and you see the way like these stars are navigating reality TV a little bit differently. Like they're all in the comments and they're on social media, and we can see what they're doing in their Instagram stories. There is something about the inaccessibility to Lisa Vanderpump that I find really fascinating. Like, I love the fact that I don't know really what she has going on besides the fact that she
Right.
like maybe is doing magic at Sir, or at least dressing like
Definitely.
she's doing magic at Sir. So I love that pick because I think that she's truly a TV character. I love when my reality TV stars are like TV characters. Like I think about like Tiffany Pollard, like New
Mhm.
York, like
Yes.
she is a TV character. I'm sure she's a whole person outside of TV, but I like kind of love the fact that I don't know that person. I
Mhm.
only know the person that has been presented to me on television. It's the same thing with Lisa.
It's amazing that Lisa's been able to maintain that also because she has so many like publicly presenting businesses that you would think you might run into her at one of those places and get a little video that you could post on your stories and it would go viral or whatever, but it just doesn't happen. She's very sneaky.
She drops her magic beans and says, "Poof!" like a magician, and she disappears. And then she comes back with new broken birds and new dogs.
Yes. But they're the same dog and they're all on like beta blockers or something. I don't know what she does to her dogs to get them so calm, but they are so calm.
Those dogs. Oh my God. I am starting to believe that the dogs are running the show. And
They are.
those two, like Ken and Lisa, are just like bodies in
Mhm.
like, just like moving around in like human suits, just moving around. But the dogs really run things going
I
on.
believe it.
Okay, let's talk about Love is Blind. Now, we finally, I guess this was the finale of the season. We are getting a reunion, but we got a big bunch of all of the weddings.
Mhm.
We got one wedding last time. No, we got the beginning of this wedding last time,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
We got Emma and Mike. So we start with Emma and Mike, and we ended last episode with Emma saying, yeah, I'm all in. And we were like, oh? And Mike's vows started with, so you gonna have my kids or not? That's a big deal to me.
Oh my god. The whole relationship with him. Like Emma, first of all, is drop dead gorgeous. Like and sh that's the thing with all these shows. It always boils down to like these women, why are they settling for these men? What is going on with these men? But he tells her the whole time, I want you to feel comfortable with saying whether or not you're ready to have my kids, but really just you have to say you want to have my kids. And if you don't want to have my kids, then we're not getting married. And so why did she think he was going to say yes? I don't know. It's
It was so crazy to me. But also we get to the vows, and yeah, Mike says no. Mike says, no thanks, I'm not ready yet. You can't be 50-50 about having my kids. You have to be 100%. You can't even be 99.1. And I was like,
yeah.
nobody is 99. Nobody is 100% about having kids, by the way. And I've got two
No.
of them.
Right. Well, no. And even after you have your kids, you're like, do I want to keep these guys? I don't know. They drive me bananas half the time. But like, yeah, I didn't want to have kids when I got married, and my husband wanted to have kids, and I did it, and it was the best friggin' choice I ever made in my life. I love my son, obviously. If you're
Yeah.
a parent, you love your kids more than anything in the world, and I would never have known that had I not married somebody who definitely wanted kids. He didn't force me to have kids. I did make the
Yeah.
choice on my own, but like, it's oh. That whole thing has been just annoying from the get. Like, why did they pick each other when this very large obstacle was in front of them from the beginning? Like, it's just not, I don't know.
It didn't make any sense. It kind of ended though with them sort of being like, it felt like Emma was saying like, yeah, we could like still see where this goes. And Mike was maybe there too. I wasn't quite sure. The parents felt like they were like very supportive, but like, I think that the thing that these women need to realize is that once men have been put on reality television, those DMs are filled with people who want to fuck them.
Correct.
And so if that man does not marry you at the altar, he is not going to marry you afterwards, babe.
And that's so true. Great point. Like, we haven't seen the reunion, but I fully expect anything that went well today to have gone poorly in the past year because, well, with like one exception. I mean, there's so much temptation once you get out, and
Yeah.
it's bonkers. And these, I mean, I don't know. I felt like her or his parents were not super excited. Like, I think they got on board toward the end of their meeting, but they
Yeah.
were still kind of like, all right, you're nice. You've had a tough life, so we won't be mean to you. But like, we're not really sure. You want to have babies, right? I want you to have cousins. I need my cousins, and
It was so bizarre.
yeah.
She was like, I love to cook spaghetti sauce. And mom was like, we call that gravy. And I was like,
How
oh,
dare
okay.
you?
I mean, Jesus Christ. Also, I'm still confused at I didn't realize they made people from New Jersey and Ohio. That's so confusing to me.
That's right. Oh,
I was like, why? Where's your origin story? Are you from Secaucus? Like, why are you talking like you are from New Jersey? Like, you sound like my neighbors. I don't understand. But yeah, Emma and Mike, it's a no-go. I was like, yeah, I could have guessed this. This was for sure. The only thing I was surprised by was that Emma said yes. I was like, girl, what are we doing?
no. Somebody, where are her friends? Somebody tell her no. Like, that's not okay. That was a bad choice. But I think women also don't want to look like disagreeable. So they're like, I'll say yes so that I looked nice, even though I know he's going to say no or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, and I also think that she did this thing where she was like, I love you, but this is who I am. And
Mhm.
I choose you, but this is who I am. So you have to decide whether or not who I am is good enough for you. And I kind of think that that's like a bold move, I think, on her part to be like, I love you even if I don't want to have your babies. Like,
Right.
that's fine. Also, again, I said this last week, but I'm going to say it again. The idea that this man just like at no point was he like, yeah, like I know you have hesitations about being a parent and like you would be burnt out, but like here's the ways that I think that I would be as a dad. Like I wouldn't be like a typical dad. I would be like this and that. Like, but we never saw that. Maybe they did have that conversation. We certainly did not see it. They straight up, he was like, is your womb available for my babies or not? He was like, okay.
No, you're totally right. The way that she presented it, it's like when you set a boundary with someone. You're like, this is my boundary. You can either meet it or not, and then I have to decide whether or not I'm going to allow you to stay in my life. And she did present it well, but he, like Brittany, loves a dress. What's his name? Mike loves a baby in a womb. Like they are singularly focused on one thing and one thing only, and that is what they need.
Yeah, exactly. I think the next wedding was Amber and Jordan. Now,
Okay.
Amber, to remind everybody, is the badass man hater, single mama with a style that is like very early 2000s. I keep saying she's ageless like Ramona, and I don't mean that in like her personality, but she definitely feels like somebody in the background of one of Ramona's parties, like one of her 60 close friends that
Mhm.
would be in the back of a party. Since the show's aired, people have been talking about how they are not sure how old she is, and the poor woman had to release a a picture of her driver's license.
Oh.
I'm so sorry, I was part of the problem because I
Oh.
was like, 33, where?
I had the same thoughts. Like, what is going on here? 33. Like, oh, I don't know. I think maybe my neck could use some tightening. There are areas, but I feel like she looks older than me. And I was like, what's going on here? And she definitely looks older than Jordan. I even had the thought, like, maybe they'll be out in public and people will think that I don't know. Anyway, I don't want to be part of the problem either. But she looked phenomenal in her dress.
So
Like,
good.
yeah, her hair bumped to high heavens.
So she came in with the Teresa Giudice.
Yeah.
She came in with like the Ohio version of the Teresa Giudice hair. I was like, and I kind of love that about her, that she was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I have big hair and I get layers, so it's
Yeah.
even bigger. So what about it?
I think she might be a curly girl who straightens it. Like she has the
Yes.
volume of like a curly to straight person to me. And
For
I used to
sure.
be that person, but I just don't have that kind of time anymore. I just don't.
Although I did try, because I've got like textured hair, I've got like
Mhm.
wavy hair, and during COVID I did try to do the curly girl method,
Mm.
and I did love it. Like I did love it, but I think I consumed too much like content, and I was like, oh, there's so many steps and I have to do so many things.
Yeah.
I do think wavy hair is like harder to get to one state sometimes.
Mhm.
Like sometimes it is easier to just be like, I'm gonna blow dry this bitch and keep it
Yeah.
this way. But I feel like having a curly hair routine is more work than just blow drying your hair straight.
I agree with you, unless you live in a humid area like I do, because then you have to like completely re-straighten every day, and then that's a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah. Well, Patreon exclusive, your curls
Yeah.
look amazing.
Thank you. They're halfway dry. They'll look better by the end of the episode. I'll just keep fluffing them as we go.
It looks so good. So Amber and Jordan, their big thing was that they weren't sure. Amber was not sure that Jordan was ready to quote unquote take all of this on. And I was like, let's not talk about your daughter that way.
Right.
It was so crazy. The brother came in and was like, if you're asking me, I don't think Jordan's going to say yes to you. I was like, is everyone okay? Like, why are you guys saying this? This girl is going to see this on television one day. All of the adults in her life being like, yeah, so like Amber is great. They're a great pair, but like if only Amber didn't have that kid.
That kid in the way.
So weird.
Literally, it's bananas. And the daughter it wasn't like she was bouncing off the walls and like, I mean, she was just a normal child. You know how many people have stepchildren? It's a very common thing. I mean, people live with children all the time. I mean, it's part of humanity. Yeah, my first note, I wrote a couple notes, not too many, but my first note was, what the fuck, Amber's brother? Like, what was that? Right before she was about to walk down the aisle. It's the speech he gave her right as they're at the doors before they open. He's like, yeah, not going to happen.
It was so crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's a terrible thing to say to you. And her face, because this woman, all her feelings are constantly on her face. Her face completely dropped. She was like, shit.
Yeah.
But surprisingly, or really not surprisingly, because I was like, Jordan hasn't really given us any reason to like not be into this. I mean, he kept saying to his sister, I'm not sure what I'm going to do.
Mhm.
But at the end, he did say yes, and they did end up getting married. So,
Yeah.
and they looked lovely together. I like that little speech she gave about like how he's like the opposite of her, and he's super optimistic, and he just like made friends. He made a CPAP club at the airport.
That's what I was going to say. Her whole speech was like, I love you. You made airport CPAP friends. And his whole speech was, we put so much into this. I'm glad it's you. Like literally that's it. And then they had to keep the harp going for additional seconds.
The harpist was probably like, is that it? I have more notes to play. Do I okay, let me quickly end this.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder, okay, my prediction for them, I feel like it may not have lasted. I have a feeling that there might be some alcohol issues going on with one of them or both of them.
Yeah.
And so,
yeah, I worry about one of theirs inability to keep their eyes open.
that is important.
I was like, Amber, your eyes are never open, and I don't know what's happening. And that's me as a person who like cannot maintain eye contact, and I'm like really bad at keeping my eyes open. I tend to like close my eyes when I get excited and I'm talking about something. But Amber was like next level.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
It's wild though, because I think people don't, I mean, I do the same thing and I don't realize how bad it is until I watch a video of myself talking to somebody and I'm like, you are literally just talking to people like this with your eyes fully closed the entire time. But it's okay. I mean, I feel like I open them enough to get some little visual cues every now and then. And I hope that's the same for Amber. I hope the best for them. They seem like they have potential, but I do fear that it did not last.
I fear the reunion didn't look great. I was like, oh, I don't know what's going to happen. I think it is Amber running off stage.
That's right.
So.
Yeah.
We'll see. Peace and blessings to them. Good luck, kiddos. Yeah. Next did we have Britt and Devontae here and then Alex and Ashley?
Yeah, it was Brittany and Devontae in Brittany's house, I guess.
These two. I was like, Brittany, pick yourself up, girl. You are it made me upset for two things. One, Devontae is such a weasel. Like, I think that his inability to say like, I don't want to marry you today, and I don't think that I ever want to marry you.
Right.
His inability to say that really pissed me off. And then Brittany just being like, no, I get it. Like, today you're not, my whole family is here. I have the dress. Everybody's super excited. Because she doesn't say, I felt like I can't do this. She's like, everybody's here to celebrate me, but like this isn't really what it's not going to plan or something like that. Because I think essentially Devontae was like, yeah, I've not introduced you to my actual biological family because I don't want to do this. But I think she kind of took it as, she kept saying like, I know 100% I'm going to marry you one day. And
Yeah.
Devontae, he ended his conversation with, we'll be in touch.
After people call my people, like he he did not like her from the moment they met, which is bizarre because she is gorgeous also, and she was adorable, despite the fact she's obsessed with her dress and obsessed with just the idea of being married. She didn't need to be married to him. It literally was like, I found the person who is willing to go through this ceremony with me. And the fact that her family was so like, we do not say the word divorce. For somebody to be in that kind of a family and then be willing to marry somebody who is so clearly not into you is wild. Also, I hate when they do the breakup in somebody's house before the altar. The whole point of this dang show is for us to get to watch you and be like, is it going to happen? Yeah. So her and Devontae and then Breezy and Connor. The other guy? Yeah. That bummed me out. I mean, I do actually respect it because it's like you're mature enough to not hurt the other person, and that's nice. But this is a show. This is the show.
I know. The television show is that we watched you pick out wedding dresses and tuxes and shit so that we could see you get dressed up and say no in front of a room full of people. Okay. Right. If you wanted to break up, you should have done it after Mexico. Leave me alone.
Yeah, exactly. And Devontae's like, sorry, I couldn't get any people to show up. So that's why we're not doing it at the thing. None of my people are here.
Yeah. And Devontae, none of your people showed up because you told them not to come. Because you were like, guys, there's not going to be a wedding. I'm not. I'm gonna be so bizarrely rude to her that you're never gonna see a wedding between us. Like, and I think he kept trying to break up with her in like a Weasley, cowardly way. And Brittany was just like, no. He was the night before their wedding. He said, so prenup?
Yeah. That's so right. It was the night before, and that takes a while. You've got to consult attorneys. You've got to like read through it with each other's attorneys. It's wild. Yeah. But that's the problem. Like you said, he could not just say the words, I do not want to do this. And so I guess it's good that they didn't make it to the altar, because then she would have had her heart broken. And then could she have reused that dress? I don't know. Like, would she feel comfortable reusing it when she does meet the man of her dreams?
I wish that he had been man enough to say, like, I know that you really love that dress. I can't marry you, and I don't want that dress to go to waste. Like, I wish you had been kinder about it.
If he would have said that, it would have finally registered. I think if that was the sentence he used, like, I don't want you to waste that dress, baby girl. That would have registered.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return, but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though.
I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
So a question popped into my head that I meant to ask you at the beginning of this discussion, and it's kind of unrelated, but related. After they get engaged in the pods, like if they're the first couple to get engaged, do they then not see each other for the rest of the like 2-week period until they go to Mexico?
I'm not sure. I think they go to Mexico like right away, though. I think that because they're in the pods for 10 days and then they go to Mexico after. So when they're like, okay, I'll see you later, when they like propose to each other at the end of the stupid ass proposals that they do at the reveal, I think like 2 or 3 days later they're going off to Mexico together. Because I think it was last season, there was that guy, it was like the Asian guy and the girl who like looked like she was horrible. She looked like she looked like Tarek El Musa's wives.
Yeah.
She like, they like met up at like the business
coffee
room of
shop.
like a coffee shop of like the Howard Johnson that like all these people stay at. So I think they're all staying at a hotel, and then that's what they do.
So, okay. I think my brain just figured out that they actually probably get engaged closer in time to each other. I just thought like these people got engaged on episode 1. They don't see each other till episode 5 or whatever.
No, so the engagements all happen on the same day.
Okay,
but they
that makes
show them
sense.
on the show separately. No, it does, because I also thought that, but then I realized watching it, it was they do this thing where they're like, I think by like the third day you need to have secured people that you're only going on dates with, and then
Okay.
by like the seventh day you need to have like a forever person, and like then you like all these things, and then by day 10 there's a proposal. I think one of the funniest things, just to go back to the proposals, is like on the day that these girls know that, like, okay, today's the day he's going to ask me in the pods if he wants to marry me. Why are they both dressed up?
For any of the dates, I always wonder that. Why are they?
Oh my God. These girls are always there. Like, guys are like, what are you wearing? And I would be like, I'm wearing sweatpants.
Right. This is the one time that I don't have to worry about how I look in front of you. I'll get dolled up in Mexico when I see you. But for now, I'm comfy because I'm on a couch and I'm trying to make decisions. I can't be thinking about my heels, bleeding to death. Yeah, no, I totally think the same thing every time. But I guess they're on TV. I get it. But still, no.
I mean, I guess. I feel like I would be way cozier and comfortable in like an oversized sweatshirt and sweatsuit on a couch, like laying on a couch talking to somebody, than in like a dress with Spanx on under it.
No, never. I will never wear Spanx again. I honestly don't think I'll ever wear heels again. I might wear like a wedge, a sensible platform, but it's just not worth it to me in my life. As a 44-year-old woman, I'm too old for that.
No, I love that for you. I have block heels. Those are but like a skinny heel? Get out of here. No way.
You know what my bone density is like? No, neither do I. I don't know what it's like at this age, and I cannot find out.
We cannot be risking falls at this age. Okay, the estrogen levels are low, and so is our bone health. So there's nothing we can do. We're trying our best. We're supposed to be eating 147 grams of protein upon waking. Upon waking. Yeah. Okay. Next is Ashley and Alex, which was probably the most exciting part of this episode. Ashley and Alex, again, to remind everybody, is what our friend Amanda called last week. Not her words, not very PC, but the term the internet is using for Alex, a hobosexual. We're not sure if this man is employed. We're not sure if this man has a home. And Ashley is like Republican Barbie, princess daughter of a really kind of terrible man. Yeah. What are your thoughts about these two?
Well, I love that you guys brought up Alex's wild hair curls, his like internal horns that he uses to cover up his like receding hairline, because I mean, my hair is also thinning as a woman of a certain age, but I cannot imagine doing that to my hair. He is a handsome dude. She is gorgeous, of course, but she also looks exactly like her dad and acts exactly like her dad. And I understand that she wants to know a little bit about this man, but she has zoned in so hard on the timeline of his like sexual escapades in the past that she's not even concerned about who he is as a person. And I cannot respect that. Like, she's just question after question. You said this and that conflicts with this timeline. I don't know. What are you, an attorney or a fiance?
Yeah. Also, I think that like, who cares who he fucked before he met you?
Exactly.
Let's talk about what his financial situation looks like.
Right. What's going to happen next month?
Yeah. What do you mean trading in Australian dollars and crypto? What does that mean? What are those words?
Yeah. Let me open up your stock portfolio. If that's what you're doing, let me see the app. Let me see what's going on.
Exactly. And that shitty guy Chris said is like, you want to present a Charles Schwab, portfolio. Okay. Please show Ashley that, because that's another thing. But I will say this, and I may have mentioned the story before, but I have a cousin that called off her wedding literally the week of her wedding. And it was because on the day that they went to go get their marriage license, she found out that her fiance, who had said that he was a widower, was actually divorced. And she was like, he kind of just like presented it like it was no big deal at the time of the registration, like getting their marriage certificate or whatever, or their marriage license. And she was like, I think she realized like there were a lot of lies like this that were presented to me over time, and I kind of brushed it over. even though I noticed that there was a discrepancy, but like this one felt like too much. And then other things came out, like
Right.
he lied about his job, he lied about where he lived and all these things. So it's like, I get that that can happen sometimes where you're like, there's so many things that I can't figure out about this person. I'm going to try to like hone in on this one thing that I feel like is easily like I can catch him. But
Mhm.
Ashley, you don't marry him because he is so weird and red pilled, which I feel like is probably her thing anyway. Like
Right.
we both know that they're Trumpers, whatever.
I just feel like is everybody on this show a Trumper? Like, it started to weigh on me. I guess not. There are some that
Well, I don't
I
think
don't
Amber
know.
is. I don't think Amber and Jordan are.
Okay.
Because Amber hates men. And the way that she talks about men, I was like, you seem like a gal who's pissed off about men ruining the world. So I feel like
okay.
she's good. I feel like Christine and Vic
Vic
feel
and
like
Christine, yeah.
yeah.
But he did say something, we'll get to it in a minute, that I was like,
Yeah.
I hate this phrase, but anyway. Yeah.
I can't wait to get to it. I could tell based on the way Ashley was talking and before the altar that she was going to say no, because she kept saying things like, the person I'm choosing today is for happiness. And I was like, that sounds like a no to me.
Yeah.
But they got, and also Alex, like somebody pointed this out online, Alex, every single time he's talking, he sounds like he's doing a post-game interview. And that's why, like, something about it just feels so disingenuous. Like, he's just like, yeah, so, we played well, and we're going to play again. Like, anytime they're like, hey, so, like, are you happy today? And he's like, yeah, it's like being a goalie in soccer. And you're like, what are you saying?
No, that is exactly what it is. I was trying to pinpoint what it was about his speech that drove me crazy, but it's a lot of self-praise as well. Like, he talks very highly of himself, but it is like a play-by-play of what happened, and like, and we're going to move forward, and we're going to do this, and it's going to be great. And you're like, is this how you talk to normal people? Do you have friends? Like, I do worry about Alex and what's going on over there.
Yeah, I don't know if he has friends, but he does have a lot of couches that I think he can surf. So that's pretty much his deal. At the altar, Ashley says, before Alex can even say his answer, Ashley says, I know what you're going to say, and I feel the same way. This is not going to happen. But here's the thing that I thought was so funny is like she then, obviously politely rips him apart. Says, you have low integrity or whatever. There's lies. She basically called him a liar.
Yeah.
And then again, much like a post-game interview, who was like, well, I respect your decision. And talk like a person.
I'm going to have to disagree with the one part about the lying. I'm not that, but I respect your opinion. And yeah.
Who speaks this way? Who's talking this way? It was so bizarre. And then what I thought was so funny was like, I thought he was going to say like, I was going to say yes or something like that, but he didn't necessarily tell us if he was going to say yes or no. He just said the feeling is mutual. And I was like, is it? I don't know. I don't know.
I think he might have said yes. Because he is looking for the permanent couch. He wants a couch. And like JD Vance before him, he loved a couch.
That's right. And that's a rich ass couch. She's a wealthy girl. So he was like, yeah, that, he was like, I'm going to have a trust in Dubai. It's like, okay, well, that was going to be your trust, but I think not, sir.
Yeah. Well,
no.
I was happy for her. I'm glad she did it that way. Has anybody else, I've skipped around on seasons. I haven't watched all of them. Has anybody else cut the other person off at the altar like that? Do you know?
Here's the thing, Jackie. I watch these shows and then I Men in Black.
Yes.
Out of my brain. Okay. Sometimes like on like Facebook, if I'm like, because Facebook is like my guilty pleasure reel scrolling. Like that's where I watch like carpet cleaning videos.
And cookie decorating.
Yeah, like cake and cookie decorating, carpet cleaning, somebody just like organizing their closet. Like that's where I do my doom scrolling is actually just that. I don't actually doom scroll because I just know what's happening in the world.
Right.
My like mindless, like smooth brain scrolling is watching videos like that on Facebook. But sometimes on Facebook, I'll see these people from previous seasons pop up and I'm watching this and I'm going like some video of them cooking or something. And I'm like, why do I know this person?
I didn't know your name when I watched you, and I sure as shit don't know it now. Like, there's no way.
Yeah. I was happy for her. I said, okay, great. And I do feel sad for her because I think that there is a lot of existing in the patriarchy will, this is the thing, girls, like, this is a beautiful woman. She's smart. She seems like she's successful. And here she is with like terribly low self-esteem with this father who's like, I'm your protector, da 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 da. But like, it's existing in the patriarchy, even as like a thin, gorgeous blonde woman, is not helping. Like, she had terribly low self-esteem. It was
And
so to watch.
yeah, and like you said, she needed her dad to like validate her before walking down the aisle. Like, you got this. You're Ashley, whatever what's her name, last name, Carpenter or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, you can do this. And it's like, just, I know, like the way you build confidence is by just knowing and like relying on yourself. So
Yeah.
real bummer, but we wish her luck as well.
We wish her luck, I guess.
guess.
And then we lastly go to Christine and Vic, which they were the shining stars of this television show this week or this season. Perfectly knew it was going to happen. But what surprised me was that his sister was the officiant at the wedding.
Oh, I must have missed that. I must have not been paying attention at that moment. Oh,
That's nice. I multitask a lot when I'm watching the show.
Sure.
So yeah, but I was like, this is great. They all seem very happy. In the preview, they were like, isn't it weird that we never met you until the day of? And I was like, no, I think that they're fine. I think they're going to be fine. It was lovely.
The family's meeting was actually so nice. Like, they got along so much better than some of the families who had already met in the past. Like, they seem like a great couple. I think I heard you talking on the last episode about how they didn't really show them.
Yeah.
Because they weren't in Mexico. Is that what happened?
They were not in Mexico. They were only they went to like Malibu or something.
Interesting.
And so, yeah, Amanda's theory was that they weren't planning on really even filming them. But because we started to see like the couples fall apart in Mexico, they needed to make sure they had at least one good couple, because every season so far has been like nobody makes it to the altar.
Right.
It's been really shitty. So I think that because they seemed normal, they brought them back. But I also think they didn't even include them with the rest of the cast until much later into them being back in Ohio. So yeah, I was happy for them. I'm like, they seemed lovely and happy. And what do you think was in that box that Christine gifted Vic?
I think it was just some lingerie. That's my guess. Just something that she's going to wear later. Nothing. I guess they were pretty like, I don't know what the word is, like calm and chill throughout their whole presentation. So it wasn't like they were being overtly sexual. So probably that's why he wouldn't show it. But I think that's all it was. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's what it was. And maybe she took some sexy pictures and threw them in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing I did not like was at the end when he said, she's my rib. And I know that's a thing. I know that's a Christian thing, but it drives me crazy because it just implies that men are the whole thing and women are just a part of a man, when we know that everybody comes from a woman. Everyone is born out of a woman.
I have heard that before also, and I don't really understand it either, because I think that like it's like a part of a culture that I don't understand. But I have heard that before also, and I think that it's probably somebody in the patriarchy said, the women, they seem to have too much control. So we got to remind them again that she's, because I think it's like what Adam.
It is. Eve was made out of Adam's rib, which is also gross. Like she's part of him, and then they banged. That's weird. But
don't even get me started on the incest that followed afterwards.
But you're right. It's like one of the rewrites of the Bible. I guess they're like, well, we better add this in just to keep the little ladies in check. But if that's the one thing, I respect other people having religious beliefs, and if that's their faith and they work well with it, great. But I just don't like that expression. So that was my one ding on their relationship. Everything else, chef's kiss.
Yeah, it's like in a lot of Muslim circles, there's this big thing that you hear a lot growing up, which is that marriage is like half of your faith. So like you completed half of your tasks as like a Muslim person in the world by just getting married. And I was like, wait, no, that can't be right. I was like, fair. No, that's not fair. Two, there are a lot of really shitty, terrible married people. What do you mean?
Good
what do you
point.
mean that just like half of your faith? Like, what about? And then what if like some man cheats on you and then you get a divorce? Does that go away? Do you restart? I was like, we can't say stuff like that. Because then people start to take it, you know, in a different way. And I was like, again, I think it's like these phrases that people come up with to keep women in line.
We're going to work on it. We're working on it right now. We're working on the matriarchy shift. Don't worry. I'm sending a lot of vibes out to the universe. I'm doing all my woo-woo, talking to the trees, communing with the birds. I'll keep you posted.
Oh, God. We're trying our best. We're trying our best because these men are literally blowing the world up.
They're destroying everything. They've had their chance. The chance is over. It is our turn.
Oh, my God. I was on a work call this morning where all they did was tell us that we need to use AI all the time. And I was just like, somebody was like, if you're not using ChatGPT or Cloud AI, then you're just going to fall behind. And I was just like,
well, great.
Okay.
Okay, fine. I'll fall behind then.
All
See
right,
if you can even notice. Like,
yeah. Also, like, you're so worried about this. I literally know people in the C-suite that cannot convert anything into a PDF. So, like,
I'm indispensable. Thank you.
Yeah. So thank you. Yeah. Okay.
Zootopia 2 is coming home to Disney+.
Let's go!
Get ready for a new case.
We're the greatest partners of all time!
New friends.
Scary the Snake.
And your last name?
The Snake.
Dream Team. And new habitats.
Zootopia has a secret reptile population.
You can watch the record-breaking phenomenon at home. Disney's Zootopia 2, streaming March 11th on Disney+. Rated PG. And right now, you can get Disney Plus and Hulu for just $4.99 a month for 3 months with a special limited time offer. Ends March 24th. After 3 months, plan auto-renews at $12.99 a month. Terms apply.
Experience a membership that backs what you're building with American Express Business Platinum. Enjoy complimentary access to the American Express Global Lounge Collection and a welcome offer of 200,000 points after you spend $20,000 on purchases on the card within your first 3 months of membership. American Express Business Platinum. There's nothing like it. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-platinum.
At Planet Fitness, we've got everything you need to get stronger with best-in-class equipment and free fitness training. So you can give everything you've got. Join today starting at just $15 a month. Planet Fitness, we're all strong on this planet. See Club for details.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. Stop waiting around for the perfect candidate. Instead, use Indeed sponsored jobs to find the right people with the right skills fast. It's a simple way to make sure your listing is the first candidates see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs have 4 times more applicants than non-sponsored jobs. So go build your dream team today with Indeed. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
This episode is brought to you by Redfin. You're listening to a podcast, which means you're probably multitasking. Maybe even scrolling home listings on Redfin, saving homes without expecting to get them. But Redfin isn't just built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. With agents who close twice as many deals, when you find the one, you've got a real shot at getting it. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
Okay, let's go over to Potomac. The reunion part 3, final part of the reunion. You know, I felt like usually the last part isn't that exciting to me, but I do want to talk about the Monique thing where Monique played this video that was bleeped out. I was like, why are we playing this whole thing? And I don't care to watch a video. I can't, there's nothing I can't take that content. It was a long bleep. What do you want me to
she's
take
like, I know you won't be able to show this, but I'm going to show you guys. And it's like, first of all, that whole storyline was not compelling to me as the season was going through. Like, and did Stacey do anything with him? I don't know. Actually, the more interesting part of it to me is like, what's Stacey's situation? Because she's with Timo, she's without Timo. She's got this boyfriend. Is she sleeping with Chris Samuels? Like, what's that all about? Yeah. And Monique isn't bothered by it. And I don't know. It just...
Well, Ashley Darby was on some show and she was asked by somebody like, what was it actually that she said or what the video said? And this is what I found out on realityblurb.com. Okay. So what we heard, this is Ashley's quote. She said, so what we heard on that recording was essentially that there had been confirmation from one of Monique's children that he or she has a daughter and 2 sons. Someone had heard their father. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. This is Ashley's sentence. It didn't make any sense. I'm going to start over. So she's saying like he or she, and then she goes, she has a daughter and 2 sons. Because I think she didn't want to say which child it was. Okay. So we'll start over. So what we heard on that recording was essentially that there had been confirmation from one of Monique's kids that someone had heard their father speaking to someone and asked, who is Stacy? Okay. So somebody, a child asked their father, who is Stacy? And so you think that Stacy and Chris fucked?
Right. And again, Monique does not seem bothered by it. So like, why is everybody else bothered by it? I just don't understand why it was made. I mean, I know why it's made into a big deal because then it adds drama, but it just wasn't that exciting for me. But yeah, the long beep, like what's the point of that?
Yeah, what's the point? And then subsequently, like this week, Monique Samuels went on Threads and said, a lot of time has passed since the reunion was filmed, and after gaining more info since then, I don't believe Stacey had anything to do with any of that bullshit. I'll probably go on live on IG at some point this week and give y'all the entire story. I haven't watched the reunion episode, so let me catch up and get back to you. Basically, Monique said, I don't think that it was Stacy. Yeah, because Monique, it doesn't make sense. You're saying the whole thing is that Chris Samuel. So even what Kiarna said, Kiarna's like, oh, I went after we hung out, I saw Cookie, and Cookie said she was pissed about all the things that you were bringing up. So I was like, so then Kiarna, did you tell Cookie what Monique said?
Yeah.
Because that feels more real to me than like Stacy did it.
I guess I'm just confused about why anybody needs to be talking about it. It just doesn't feel like they all need to be talking about it. Why is Cookie getting so involved in all this? Cookie's not even around. Like
Cookie's not even on the show. I don't understand. And again, I think I mentioned this like in the past. I think if Monique decided to divorce her husband and go back on the television show she used to be on, and then her husband knew that she filmed an episode, and then he said, why are you talking about me in front of all these women?
Mm-hmm.
I think that he figured that out because you just got divorced and you went on a TV show about your life. Like, right. I don't think that has, and you were at a restaurant where you were talking to a bunch of people. There are people that work there. Like, there are so many things that could have happened that it's not Stacy. Like, and again, also it doesn't matter. But what I loved is that Monique put out the statement, and like sourdough starter, still she rises. Okay.
Yes. And yeah, Stacy and her potato salad. How many people raised their hand for the potato salad? I didn't even get to see that. I was working out while watching this episode. So
yeah, I said it doesn't. I said, who cares? Keep her on the show. I don't give a shit. Yeah. I love that at the end of the episode they were like, Stacy, what do you take away from this season? And she was like, I think I'm perfect and I will never change.
Exactly. I'm going to stay exactly the same. Yeah, but she was like, I'm going to stay exactly the same, but also be more something like honest, I guess, or transparent.
Yes.
I don't remember something,
I don't
but
know.
exactly the same.
She
was like, everybody loves me, so I'm staying.
Yeah, yeah, and also, please, stay exactly the same. We love you. Yeah. Don't change at all. Yeah.
But I really wanted to hear more, honestly, about the Colorado trip, because why didn't they talk about that? That thing was insane.
That was literally my next note. I said, what the heck? They barely touched on the Colorado trip.
That was the highlight of the season for me, was the Colorado trip, because what do you mean you're the queen of Colorado and you can't figure out where to put these people? What do you mean you have a travel company and you place these women an hour away from your home with a house with no water? Like, I could find a better Airbnb. Give me a phone and I'll find something down the road from my house. What are you doing? And then you're going to cook fish by a river and you don't know where the river is. And they're eating at a gas station. There was so much mess and so much disaster. And that last episode just like tumbled into nothingness. And why didn't they talk about it more?
It was so weird. I was like, did they film the reunion before that episode aired?
Maybe.
And so like maybe they didn't see the audience talking about what a fucking delight it was, because it was so much fun. I had so much fun. The image of Tia, Kiarna, and Angel backing out from like that windy road, and Tia saying, I covered this car in the blood of Christ, because they're so scared that they're gonna fall off a cliff. It was so funny. I was like, I need more of that.
Yeah. And to be honest, like the whole season I was like, oh gosh, Angel, no, why was she added to this cast? She's so boring and such a downer. Like, she has so much negative energy. And again, this trip didn't really change that, but she brought so much joy to me by planning this trip. I'm like, let's just have her on once a season to plan a trip and see how it goes.
Yeah, put her in charge of logistics at Bravo. Yeah. I want all of the trips on every season on any show to go this way. Seriously.
Same.
Make her in charge of Ultimate Girls Trip and just be like, I don't know. They dropped the pin.
Oh my gosh. The Ultimate Girls Trip. Oh my gosh. That's an amazing idea. Somebody get Andy. Pick up some cameras.
Yeah. Karen pops in and I cracked up because Karen was doing she came in doing so much. She was so mean and nasty to Wendy. And it just cracked me up because at the end, she sort of tried to walk it back too. She told Wendy, you need to shut the fuck up. You talk too much. If I were you, I wouldn't talk as much as you, all this stuff. And then Wendy just looks at her. She's like, and everybody in the cast is like, whoa, you're not going to agree with her mom. Her mom was really mean. And then they played the clip of her mom being mean to her. And everybody was like, this was really bad. And Karen's like, Wendy, when I said about your mother, I meant. I was like,
yeah. Yes. But that line where she said, I really like when your mother told you to shut the fuck up was brilliant also. It was horrible. She shouldn't have done it. But I loved it in the moment. I was like, oh,
yeah, it made us all go, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she, it's just so funny because she's talking to Wendy. She's like, Wendy, I would have never said all the things up here on the stage that you're saying. And I was like, well, that's because you're a liar, pants on fire, right. Karen. That's a big difference. And I'm not saying that Wendy isn't because the cards are really not in Wendy's favor right now.
Yeah.
But it was just so funny to me that she was giving Wendy legal advice almost. And Wendy was like, yeah, I have a team and we talked about it before I came on camera.
Obviously, I would discuss this with my legal team.
Obviously. And I think what's great is that I knew that Karen was going to be coming back into the show as this is me. I'm Karen and I've been through things and I'm going to impart wisdom on you. And it's funny because her imparting wisdom is just basic things that anybody with legal troubles would know to do before going on TV. And so I'm looking forward to Karen just coming in a voice of reason where the reasoning is just the sky is blue and grass is green.
Yes, next season will be interesting for sure. And I mean, we'll see if Wendy probably won't be, we'll see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes. Cause apparently, friend of the pod, Taria Faison, she's become a courthouse reporter for,
that's right. I saw her writing about
Wendy's
that.
Thing. Yeah. But she was there and she said that their last, whatever, I don't know, what do you call it? Court appointment? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer.
No, either.
Her date.
Yeah.
But they were trying to get it where Wendy could have her trial or something before May. But it's going to be in June. But I know that the show films in May. So I wonder how that's going to happen if we're going to have Wendy on the show while the trial is going on. It also felt like maybe people are saying that maybe Eddie is going to take the hit and he'll go to jail and then Wendy won't. I don't know how that's going to be. I did love when Eddie came and checked in.
Oh, that was sweet. Good job, Eddie. I mean, yeah, hilarious that they pretended they weren't high in those mugshots when they talked about it. Was it last week? I think she talked about it. She's like, no, I just woke up. It's oh, you wake up and smile like the Joker when you wake up? That was not just wake up. But yeah, he's very supportive. It seems like even though this is a huge struggle for them, that he's a good dude. So I hope that they figure it out and I hope that they make better choices in the future.
Yeah, it makes me really sad.
Yeah.
Giselle did not get a package on this reunion. What did
where
you
am I?
Yeah, where am I? I know. And I love that when they were going around talking about the end of the year, she was like, okay, so I didn't get a package, so I guess I'll tell you about my life. Right. My daughter's in a sorority. It was just so funny because I was like, oh, I think that she probably is fuck, they're going to fire me if I don't get my shit together.
Well, and she's right because your story can't be my daughters are in a sorority. That's just not enough.
That cannot be your story, Giselle.
They don't even live with you.
Her. Yeah, and I love Giselle.
I do
They
too.
don't
I
even
do too.
live with you. They moved out. That was your whole thing this season, is that you had an empty nest and you were horny or something. And then we were like, okay, who are you horny for? And she was like, I like to dance around my house and eat snacks. And we're like, okay.
Great. We all do, but tell us more.
You could have done it with your girls in the house, I think.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not too worried about Giselle. I think she's beloved by the network and that they won't get rid of her right away. But I think she's probably on like one season thin ice. She's probably got one more chance to turn it around because it's been a few seasons of her not really bringing too much to the table.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly. Any other thoughts about Potomac in general, the end of the season, this reunion?
Not really. Just I'm excited to see what happens next season. I love Tia. She was a great addition. I think Kiarna, again, did not bring too much to the table and is just messing with other people's business. But yeah, have more trips arranged by Angel. I think that's the big takeaway.
Yeah, exactly. I absolutely want Angel on the show. I think that we need somebody super sensitive who's just going to be like, that hurts my feelings. Like, it's very Eileen from Beverly Hills when she was like, I just like, it feels icky.
You're right. Yeah.
And then she would always tell LVP, like, you didn't apologize. And LVP's like, no, I said I was sorry. And she'd be like, no, but you didn't really mean it. Like,
yeah.
I do love that on a TV show. Like, I love somebody there who's just like exhausting everyone because everybody gets so mean and funny.
Yeah.
So I feel like I need that. I want Angel around for sure.
Okay. We'll give her one more chance. She redeemed herself for me at the end. So I'm fine with it.
Yeah. Unknowingly redeemed herself to all of us.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about this episode of Summer House. We had a Renaissance fair party. I didn't realize it was a Carl planned event that Lindsay came down for. What did you think about that?
Okay, two things. Number one, I miss the days of summer house parties where they had to build their own crappy decorations and it was like frantic scramble to make things happen. It reminds me of like if you were an original Love Island season 1 watcher versus now, like the production value is so much different and the grittiness of the beginning was so much more exciting.
Yeah.
I don't like the inflatable cottages and we're doing a joust. Like, yes, but it was interesting that it was Carl planning it and Lindsay was invited and that he like called her the queen and allowed her to boss him around a little bit.
I know. I did. I was like, you know what? Everything is fine. I think that they made better friends than lovers, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that they were ever really going to be together. I think that Carl seems really easy to be with on paper, but he's like, at the end of the day, a dork. Like, he was watching The Magician and he was eating a turkey leg and he had like, I don't know, a soft drink in his hand. And he was like The Magician did like a very basic, like, magic trick and Carl was like, whoa, yeah, amazing, that's sick, whoa.
Well, when you're sober at a party like that, you really just need something because I don't know if I could handle it personally. That would be rough. Yeah.
Obviously the big thing this episode was the Sierra, Jesse, Wes situation. Bring everybody up to speed.
Yeah.
He asked Wes a couple of episodes ago if he could make out with, or last episode, if he is it okay if I make out with Sierra like in a drunken way? And Wes is like, what? Huh? And then he's like, Wes says, hey, everybody thinks it's really weird that you asked me that. And it's like, well, Wes, you also think it's weird that he asked you that, but like, be a man and say what you're feeling. Say it. Mm-hmm. And then it gets back to Sierra by none other than our messy little hub house. She's like, I think I need to tell her. And they're like, I don't think you need to.
Is it my place? Everything is my place to tell. I'm going to tell everybody everything. That's like her. That's why she was there, honestly. And great. Glad for it. Yeah. As the episode started, I was like, well, Sierra does have good chemistry with both Jesse and West. And so I was like, easy solution, thruple. But then the more I thought about it, I was like, no, Jackie, that is just your internalized misogyny. Gross. Both of these men are horrible. And Sierra is a goddamn queen. No, she needs to get her shit together and be like, no, and just and realize that first of all, these men aren't worth it. And second of all, she probably needs to leave the show and like do something else bigger and better with her life. Cause she can.
Yeah.
But they're not serious people, Jesse and West, and they do just want to experience her, as she brings up later on in the
Oh
episode.
my God. So she's like trying to be cool about it, trying to be cool about it. And then she just breaks down and starts crying. And it just like broke me for her. I'm so glad Mia is there. And Mia
Yeah.
just is like, let's just go in. And I love what she was saying. Like, they just want to experience me. Like, they don't care about me as like a person. And it has to be so freaking like, just demeaning to be like, this guy who I thought was like just my really good friend went up to this guy that I used to hook up with and asked him permission if he could like fuck me or whatever as a joke. Like, it just has to feel so gross. Like, I was just letting this guy like cuddle with me on the bed as like we're friends. And his whole thing is let me get permission to like make out with her drunkenly as a joke. Like, I'm like, she's not a homie hopper, but they're making her look like she is. And it's just a weird, gross, like they're taking away all of her autonomy, her agency from the situation. It's so horrible. And I've seen Sierra talk about this before of like, everybody just treats me like I'm just like hot. And I'm just so tired of being told like, oh, you're just hot. Like, I love when she says like, I'm more conservative than these guys and they think that they could just like have me.
Yeah.
And it's so terrible. I felt so sad for her.
Yeah. And I think the whole thing is that Jesse, it's not a joke. Like, he really does have feelings for her. But this is the through line of this episode, is men cannot say what they're really feeling. And if he were to have just said, it's not a joke, Sierra, I'm in love with you. And I have been, and it's been developing for 3 seasons on this show.
Yeah.
Although I have never contacted you in the off season for some reason.
Yeah.
But, to make something happen. But, I am in love with you and I really would like to kiss you. And we'll just have a little kiss and it doesn't have to lead to anything. Like, that will be more sincere. But the fact that he's unable to do that and that he continues to play it off like it's a joke when it is not a joke is just like, that is what is heartbreaking for me and for her and for you and for everybody watching.
Yeah. And I think like we saw how he is sort of in a relationship when we saw what he did with Lexi last season. And anytime he is confronted for his antics, he's like, what? Like, I thought everything was fine. Like, why is everybody making it so weird? And you're like, no, you made it weird with your weird actions. Like, just laughing it off and saying everything is a joke is not cool. These are people with feelings and human beings involved. Like, he told Lexi that he loved her. And then he was like, why are you being weird about some girl sucking my toe? Like, what?
Oh my gosh, that was so crazy. Last season, that should have never happened. But but yes, exactly. You cannot tell a human, I love you, and then be shocked when they are mad that you are engaging in some sort of sexual activity with somebody else, regardless of which body part it is. Location. It doesn't matter which location is on your body. It is still part of your body in their mouth. Like, no.
It's a part of your body with skin on it. Okay.
Yeah.
And like, that's bare skin to somebody's mouth. I don't care if it's a neck, a toe. I don't care if it's your kneecap.
Right.
It's
I don't care
weird.
if it's your weenus. Like, it's not okay. It's heartbreaking. And then, okay, to the point of Sierra always feeling like she's just hot and everybody wants her to be hot. That's why she always dresses in costumes that make her not hot, because she's like, I'm going to be the funny girl.
Yeah.
And I get that. And I loved her bubonic plague rat, although I'm sure she was hot in that. Like, it was so hot. But it reminded me of my first college Halloween party that I went to in Austin. I went to UT, and my boyfriend, who I had just started dating, who ended up being my fiance later on, he was like, let's just go to this party. It's gonna be so fun. I was like, I don't have a costume. He was like, I got something for you. He pulls out this giant furry mouse costume. Okay. And I go, it's my first college party. All the girls are like, sexy nurse, sexy this, sexy that. And I'm Sierra. I'm in the mouse costume at this college party. So, it was fine. I love it. I love a good, funny costume.
I also enjoy a funny costume. There are people who are like, I'm so tired of hot girls dressing in like ugly costumes. But I'm like, just the way we should let, any type of body be in a sexy costume, we should let any type of body be in an ugly costume.
There it is. That's right. You can just wear, it's costume time. Just wear whatever costume you want to wear, regardless of your body.
Hot take, we should let women wear whatever they want. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Now, tell me about West in this scenario. Where are you with West? How is he navigating this? Do you think that he is doing a good job?
He's doing a horrible job. He also loves Sierra. Okay. They both actually love her. And that's why I was originally thinking throuple. I was like, this would be great. She could have two men eating out of her hands. Like she could just like use her like Sandy from Grease foot, like she's stomping a cigarette, but do it on their faces and just stomp them to the ground and like make them do her bidding. But then I was like, no, they're horrible and they'll just make her feel bad later. But yeah, he needs to, both of them, whichever one of them is able to fully explain their feelings to her first, will ultimately probably win some sort of affection from her, honestly. I mean, because she likes them both as humans. She just wants something that's real. So if either of them could be real, that might be the solution, guys.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think that if I keep saying this, like if West had come into the house and said like, Sierra, I really miss being your friend and I miss being more than your friend a lot, but I can understand like why I don't deserve it. But I just like, if you'll have me, I'll be your friend, you know, just to like start over.
There. Yeah.
We'll start there because again, ultimately, I think the reason why Sierra's walls are up is like, if I'm nice to a guy, he thinks that I want to fuck him. And I don't like that.
Right.
And like even with Carl, Carl, right? Like the first episode of the season, Carl was like, Sierra, in another life, you and I would be together. And she's like, you're crazy. Like, that's the thing. All these guys, like Sierra is really nice to them. And she's like one of the guys and she like pals around with them and they're all like, so you're saying I have a chance? And she's like, no, I'm just being nice to you because I can. That doesn't mean that I'm like going to do this with you. And I just, you know, I wouldn't know what it's like. But it seems like the plight of a hot person.
Yeah, it does seem like a real bummer. She should maybe just get like a chastity belt or something and be like, this is who I am now and nobody has a chance with me. And so just get over that idea and let's move on and try to talk like humans.
Yeah. She needs to be with like a hot athlete. She needs to be with like a hot actor. She needs to be with a surgeon, like somebody else.
She needs to be with Amanda.
Wow. That's also possible. That's also a possibility.
That's where we're moving. Okay. This is in the matriarchy.
Yes. And then Amanda in her divorce gets Loverboy and then Sierra and Amanda run Loverboy. Like the
from a home in New Jersey.
From a home in New Jersey with dogs.
Yeah, with dogs. It's perfect. The end.
The end. Dara just kind of moved into the house. Dara was like, I'm hot. I'm bringing my bags. I think producers want me to show up. So I'm just going to move in. There's like a Dara, KJ, Ben sort of triangle kind of. Hard to say if it's really a triangle because Dara straight up is like, no, I'm into KJ. I'm really not into Ben. Are you into Ben? What do you think about him?
I think he has very little personality. He seems very nice, but he is just very boring. And I also think he would benefit as a specialist in curly hair. Again, I must once put in my opinion, he would benefit from just like a buzz cut. Like if he just trimmed it down real short, kept it nice and tight, or like a more tight on the sides, more on top sort of hairdo. I think this all around microphone head look that he's got going on is not working with his face. And he's a very good looking dude. So he needs some guidance there.
Thank you so much. The hair is bad, guys. And also he needs like maybe like a deep conditioner. It's giving like it's very Justin Timberlake ramen hair, you know, and not in like even a conditioned way. I agree with you. I'm not sure if that hair is hanging on for much longer either. So I think we're on the tail end of that curly mop up top. So I think that he's maybe trying to do like, if I leave it curly and poofy, it'll look like fuller. And it's like, if the camera's not doing you any favors, buddy.
No, but again, he has potential. He just needs somebody to get in there and do a little zhuzh.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I feel like when he's on like Watch What Happens Live, like whoever it is that does the glam at Watch What Happens Live always does a really nice job to these people. So whoever is back there, point. I feel like if they fix his hair up, then that'll be like his new look because it's bad.
It's bad. We need to. I need to know who does the Watch What Happens Live hair. That would be a good person to follow and get their tips and insights.
Yeah, I think I know the makeup person is like Julius something. Like I think
Okay.
he's like the guy who does everybody's makeup, like all the housewives' makeup. And then I'll find out about the hair person because my hairdresser is Alexia's hairdresser, Alexia Napola's hairdresser.
wow.
So I get a lot of tea from that end about stuff like that.
That's fun.
Mostly that everybody has fake hair. So I was like, oh, okay, great. Amazing.
Now I don't feel bad.
Now I don't feel bad. Okay.
Yeah. Your hair's gorgeous.
Oh, it's fake.
Oh, well, it's gorgeous.
Thank you. Again, I have a really good hairdresser. It's the same one as Alexia. Sweet Bailey is really trying it. Your thoughts on Bailey? She's an awkward little turtle.
Yeah, I think she is next episode, it looks like she gets herself in trouble. And I just don't know if she's going to hang very long on this show. I don't think she's going to be able to make it. They keep bringing in like little pairs of girls to try to like fill in the blanks, but it's just not working. They need to bring in they need another strong Lindsay type that's got like a lot of oomph and that will give it to the boys.
And I think that might be Dara. Like, I think Dara to me feels like she has that energy.
Yeah.
They try to do a little prank, Bailey and Levi with the tree. It was cute. It was cute. It's cute, like the beat.
Yeah, I like them both. I mean, I think they're both the beat. I like them both. I think they're cute, and if they had like an older sister type, like if Amanda weren't so involved in her own drama that's going on, and she could guide them into the group, and if Sierra wasn't dealing with her West Jesse triangle, like if they were able to incorporate them more, then they could be good additions. But as it is now, it doesn't feel like they're blending very well.
Yeah, I love the journey that Amanda is on. And I was recently thinking about something because I was watching the Actors Award this weekend, and Paige DeSorbo was like the red carpet person there. And Paige did such an amazing job. And I've also heard Paige talk about how during her tours, she got medicated. I have been trying to dabble back into writing more, and I've been thinking about starting a Substack. And one of the things that I wanted to do was write about how when women become medicated, they decide not to be in shitty relationships anymore. Yeah. And or sometimes they decide to continue being in their relationship because they realize that it's very good. I am one of those people. Yeah. And I just, I want to talk about what medication does for reality TV people. And I feel like Paige and Amanda, as young women who were on reality TV for like 5+ years, I think that they're both really good examples of like how they can handle the fame, how they can continue to be a private person, how they can make money off of this, and then also like stay on top of their mental health.
Yeah. I'm a giggler. So I listen to Giggly Squad, and I love hearing her talk about it. And then I saw a Marie Claire, I didn't see the article, of course. I just saw it on my Instagram feed, but it was like Amanda Batula, girl who is going to be okay.
Yeah. Amanda got like a Marie Claire spread. I was so happy for her. And I'm just like, much like I see Amanda and Paige doing really well, I want that for Sierra because I also want, I think, and maybe this is something also that like makes her so emotional, is I want Sierra to be on the show as not a person who is linked up with someone romantically.
Yeah. They need to just start a show with just the women. Like now that they're a little bit older, like let Amanda and Sierra, maybe they could be the new Roni people. I know that's been suggested before, but like start a whole new one. This cast can just go that they have right now.
Well, they're doing The City, which is Kyle, Amanda, and Lindsay. So I hope that Sierra just goes to that and is like,
she should.
I don't want to be driving to the Hamptons and having a bunch of guys, rock, paper, scissors over who's going to kiss me.
But like imagine Amanda, Sierra, Lindsay, Paige, Hannah, which I know Hannah doesn't get along with her, but maybe they could make up again. That would be a fun little fivesome to follow around.
Well, I know you're a giggler, and maybe this is controversial, but maybe not Hannah.
Yeah, Hannah. Okay, Hannah is not everybody's
a polarizing person. Yeah, she's a polarizing person. I understand, but I also, would be lying if I said that sometimes she says things and I laugh. So I would be lying if I said I didn't laugh when she says things. So she's a funny gal. Whatever.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts about Summer House? Would you visit Carl's Soft Bar?
I would if we talked about this actually on We Say What, my podcast with Priscilla. Just throw that out there one more time. But how we think it's actually a great idea, especially if he's able to incorporate like adaptogens and that and like magnesium and like maybe even some like THC drinks for people that are. I know that that's like sober-ish kind of, but for people who are trying to get out of drinking alcohol, that might be a nice little segue, and it would be a great business idea. I'd go.
Yeah, and I think that he is doing some adaptogen stuff at his bar, so that's really good. But and you know, I've got a friend who's gone. The only thing is there's no food, which I'm like, listen,
just snacks. I mean, you could serve. There's easy foods, y'all.
Yeah, it's like there's like pastries, but they're like pastries from the morning from like a bakery down the street. So then, like, if you go there, because like who's going in to get like a soft drink at like 10 a.m. Now, look. If he gets a fountain soda machine and he can get Diet Cokes extra crispy.
Like a McDonald's fountain machine.
That's honestly, that's all he would need. The way the millennial women would flock to that location, be like, no, you don't understand. Soft Bar has the crispiest Diet Coke.
Yes. And then a little DDP for the Texan girls. Little Dr. Pepper for us when we come visit.
Yeah, I think like if he can corner the market on like crispy sodas, then I think that he's good to go. Because there's not, you know, you're never really sure. You're like, today the McDonald's Diet Coke was not as good as it can be. But if he could do that, he doesn't even need the adaptogens.
That's right. But I'll pay more for an adaptogen beverage than a soda pop.
Imagine going and getting a crispy Diet Dr. Pepper, and it also has a THC component in it.
Oh, girl, you're speaking my language. Imagine, and a little bit of magnesium in there. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to drink one of these. I'll be asleep in 2 hours and I'll just enjoy the rest. Like, it's perfect.
Well, I'm going to go off to bed.
Yeah.
Carl, is there a lounge upstairs that I can lay down on?
And that's where Paige is hosting her Amazon show that's in the bed or whatever that show is. I don't know.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Well, Jackie, that's the end of our chat. Thank you so much for coming. All right. Now you need to spend all your time talking to me about both your Instagram and your podcast. We'll do podcast first and then Instagram.
Okay, perfect. I host a podcast with my friend Priscilla Kavanaugh. We kind of were like making eyes at each other for years across the Instagram feed and eventually joined up to make this podcast. It's called We Say What. And every week we do a March Madness style bracket where we debate 16 random things. We come up with a winner or loser, depending on the topic. And it is so fun. We love doing it. We don't ever fight to the point where someone's crying. So don't worry. It's safe. It's a safe zone. And you can vote in our stories on Instagram and stuff. So there's like an interactive portion of it, which is pretty fun. And we're doing a live tonight, but I think it'll be too late for anybody listening. But we'll do more lives in the future. But I really love doing it. I hope you come check it out. And then my Instagram is kindminds_smarthearts. And that is where I started doing like parenting content and neurodivergent content. But I've also gone into like mental health and social justice and just a little bit of everything. And as Nora knows, I'm getting my PhD in psychology. So I'm kind of getting information and passing along information. And it's a lot.
I love it. I love it. It's so good. It's so good. Also, I'm an OG Velvet Hammer Designs
That's
girl.
right.
Okay.
I know you are. And I appreciate you and love you for that.
I have OG Velvet Hammer Designs merch. Okay. Yeah. So I have 2 Housewives shirt and they are both purchased from you. So I love everything that you do and I love all your posts and I love that you're going on more on the social justice route of things because education, parenting and education is revolutionary, guys.
It is. And I just want to say, I love your podcast so much and I've listened to it a little bit in the past, but like in the past few months, I've been like really dedicated to listening and I've just really enjoyed it. I love the conversations with your brother. Nice. And I really love the conversation you had with Aisha the other day.
Yes.
Because she talked about watching shows in the shower. And I, that very day, had watched my first show in the shower. And I was like, oh my gosh, they're speaking to me.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You know what? That's amazing.
Well, it was because there was the Traders reunion day and I didn't get to watch it the night before and I didn't want to see any spoilers. So I was like, I better watch it before I go online. So I took a shower and I had it on It was actually great. Everybody should do it.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. This morning, I watched the Love is Blind episode in the shower.
There you go. And go get a speaker from like Five Below or something so you can have the sound in the shower. It's just, you do need your own thoughts sometimes, but not always. So.
No, not always. Not lately. No. I'd really love to not be thinking.
Yeah.
Guys, please do check out both the podcast and the Instagram. I'm going to put all of that information in the show notes. I love the podcast so much. I got to be on, and I know the episode's going to come out later, but I got to be on to talk about condiments. And I was like, this should be a pretty chill conversation. And literally after like the first or second bracket, I was like, I'm sweating.
Yes, I had to change afterwards.
I'm sweating. I don't know what to do with myself. It was so funny. And I told my brother afterwards, my brother Rahil was supposed to be on it also. I know we're going to try to get him on for sandwiches.
Yes.
But afterwards, when I texted him the picture of Ilya Rozanov talking about garlic mayo versus regular mayo, he was like, God damn it. I would have killed this conversation.
Well, we'll come up with some good ones for sandwiches too when we do that. So.
I can't wait. Oh, it's going to be amazing. The sandwich conversation is going to be amazing. First off, we will need to talk about whether or not a hot dog is a sandwich.
And a taco and a hamburger. I mean, there's so many things to debate. Yeah.